live. All right. It's going to take everything a moment to load. So we're getting YouTube up. All the Facebook is coming up. It's taking everything a moment here. As soon as it's up, I will start chatting with you guys and we'll get everything flowing. So let me get all these Amazon stuff up real quick, get the wish list up, and then we'll start talking to everybody. All right. Got to get that pinned. All right, looks like everything is alive now. So, hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just getting my second cardio session today. We're getting the bike ride in. So, for those who don't know, non-training days, I tend to run, right? So, we either lift or we run now. So, today is a non-lifting day. I lift on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we do that, and then we try to put in some list time on the bike while we're still fasted in the mornings too, just to burn through a few extra calories during that fasted window. So again, big part of what I do. So that's pinned. And then we jump on the bike and I stream for everything. So I'm streaming on all my platforms now. So usually when I do the bike cardio, I'm on YouTube, on the Facebook fitness page, and I have my phone set up for my profile for a bit, just to get everything in the mix. All right, YouTube's a little slow, so let me go to my community tab, let people know that we're live. And then that tends to get people into here, into the feed. All right. That usually sends a signal out to everybody once we post it in the community tab. But yeah, good run this morning. Got a PR on the 5K. I had wished it had been a little bit better, but it was still a PR. You know, it was like 28 minutes and like 43 seconds. So we're under 30 minutes now. A goal I had set as a short-term goal is to get that 5K time to 25 minutes or less. Right? We want a sub 25-minute 5K. Now, that's not like elite, we're an amazing runner, but it's pretty dang good. I found something that said like the national average for male competitors in 5K, if you just take the total average for men who run 5Ks in the United States, it was something like 32 minutes or 34 or whatever it was like the national average. So again, we obviously always want to be above average, right? But you know, even at 28 minutes, not like a competitive going to win anything. But considering I've been running 3 weeks, right? Over 20 years, no running, 3 weeks. I'm an over 200-pound lifter who's 48. I think I'm making pretty good progress there. So I'll take that PR today. I posted it all up on everything, the screenshots and stuff. So I'll take the win there. I cannot imagine cycling naked. Me either, Andrew. I got shorts on. DZ over here on my profile. Hey, DZ, I'm on all my platforms. If you want to hit the Facebook fitness page too, and the YouTube, I'm in there if you want to drop some comments. But DZ's hilarious. He's a pretty jacked dude. He's a bodybuilding prep coach. He gets a lot of bikini girls pro cards. So he's pretty legit. Andrew says, don't get me wrong, I've done some calls with him in the past and stuff, so he's hilarious. He's going to joke. All good. DZ, you're a funny dude in general. We get along pretty well. We're both age over 40 coaches who have a really messed up sense of humor, so y'all know we get along. What do you mean what happened to the guitars, Big Chud? Hey, why are you asking non-fitness questions? Can you not see them? Hold on. What happened to the guitars? My arm was blocking them. You feel better now? All right. Why are you asking? Actually, you're going to timeout for asking a non-fitness question. You can go in timeout for 30 minutes. You'll be able to come back later. So non-fitness questions, automatic timeout on YouTube. All right. You go sit in the corner. When we are doing streams on the bike and we have YouTube going, we do not answer any non-fitness related questions. Okay, you guys know the rules. So you go in the corner. Daddy puts you in the corner where you belong. I already know you're a troll, but that's okay. I'm not banning anymore. I'm just putting people down now. That's what we do. But yeah, hey DZ, if you drop over to my fitness page too, I'm in there also. So if you'll drop me some comments, I'd appreciate it. All right. Bunch of views, no likes yet. That means it has not hit the feeds of the regulars yet. Just my regulars, I'll hit the like button. Feed Me Mortals says, hit 145 kilo deadlift for a set of 7 today while weighing 161 pounds at 5'10". Feed Me, that's pretty good, man. You're doing good. Keep working. That's pretty reasonable. So as you continue to gain lean muscle weight, over time, you're building a good base there. So that's a pretty decent, because you're past 3 plates. You're hitting 7 reps as a lighter guy. So just keep slowly adding body weight. Keep gaining like a pound a month and keep training like that, and you'll probably stay nice and lean. You'll get jacked, and you'll just make good, solid progress, man. So keep going, brother. So keep going. All right. Oh, it would help if I actually go comment my own thing too. Right. Comment my own stuff. You still over in here, DZ? I need to do a sit down with DZ sometimes and do like a coaching corner call like I did with Nico before. That would be some funny stuff. I don't know if that conversation would even be allowed on YouTube though. Like DZ's pretty colorful and I don't have a filter. Man, that would be probably get us all canceled. That would get us all canceled. He was like, he's Australian, I believe. So he was a military officer in Australia. Once he retired, became a bodybuilding prep coach who works with bikini girls. He gets some pro cards all over the world. But he's a funny dude. Oh man, we should do that sometime, DZ. We need to do a sit down to do a powwow and just talk trash about the industry and about lazy people. Oh man. Yep. See what else you got going on, Feed Me Mortals. It's a little slow in here today. At least the likes are trickling in. But still, it's a little slow. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the profile. Or do I? Should I just leave the profile, man? It got a few hundred views the other day. Right? When I ran one of these longer, it got lots of views. I should probably just let it run out for a little bit. Doesn't hurt to leave that timer running. Oh, man. Yep. One of those got a ton of views. Yeah, I let one run for 28 minutes the other day, and it got like 500 views on the profile. I should just leave those. I should let it run. Triple dip. Especially when the YouTube stream is a little slow. These have been slower on the bike lately. The runs get lots of views, and then the bike gets a little bit slow. But it's all good because we're streaming everywhere. I just hope we get some good questions coming up. Let's get some good questions and comments going. I've only had Feed Me Mortals. But, his was good so far. I think as soon as all the regulars see it, they'll come in. A bunch of the regulars hop over into all of the platforms. And they hit everything up. I got to put some chicken on to cook today too. What do y'all think? Well, someone else is streaming through with the profile. Just what's your current goal in terms of body weight and body fat percentage? I don't know that I have an exact percentage. I have a look I want to get to. I need to get under 200 pounds still. I'm finally down to 209. But I feel like the running is going to help me with that. But I am focused on improving the fitness and conditioning more and more a lot. So I kind of have slowed the cut a little bit because I do want my lifts back up. I do want good time. So I do want to get back to a 500 squat while doing all this. I do want to get my 5K time down under 25 minutes. So I have a lot of performance goals right now. Sorry, I got something in my eye. But I mean, ideally, long term, I'd like to be under 200 pounds and stay there and probably get down to like maybe 10% body fat or something. Mainly, I just need nice, good abs. So, Feed Me Mortal says, I eat 1 kilogram of sweet potatoes a day at the moment. Will the beta carotene make me orange? I love the taste of sweet potato. Hey, Feed Me, let me ask you a question. I already know this. So you're concerned with the beta carotene. Did you research this at all? You do know that can't happen to people who don't have rare medical conditions. So do you think that you have the medical condition that's going to allow you to turn orange from excessive beta carotene? Like, are you concerned that you have the gene or something for that medical condition? Because it's relatively rare, and it's not permanent. So do I think, you said, will it make you only if you have the medical issue that causes it? Which is I don't remember what it is. It's a pretty small number. It was something like 1 or 2% of the population this can happen to. Fortunately, if it does happen, it'll go away within a month. So if you bring the beta carotene back down to a very normal, tolerable level, if it does happen, the orange will go away within a month. But it's a fairly rare, congenital condition that allows this to occur. I mean, it is a real thing and it does happen. But if you don't have this medical issue and inability to excrete the beta carotene, it's not going to happen. But just keep in mind, if it does, it is temporary. Like, it's not going to be there for months and months. You just have to take the beta carotene way down to the same level again. Because, 1 kilogram of sweet potato is a ton of beta carotene. But you're going to urinate most of it out at that point. Just keep in mind, beta carotene is a very strong antioxidant too. So a lot of benefits to it. So just always be aware when people bring these rare conditions up. They'll give them as warnings, or it's like people will literally use type 1 diabetics and say, well, because of type 1 diabetes, it's like the fact that type 1 diabetics exist should not affect everyone else's dietary choices. That's silly. Same thing. So there's some people who can't excrete beta carotene. They're about as common as type 1 diabetics. You shouldn't alter your diet based upon the existence of those people, right? I mean, another perfect example. Ketosis, for example, is not a particularly healthy state. Just gonna piss people off. Here, I'm gonna drop the bomb. All right. So because Inuits have a gene that makes them resistant to going into ketosis, everyone forgets that too, don't they? When they bring them up and throw them in as a group. Well, the Inuits don't go into ketosis from their diet. They have a gene that makes them resistant to going into ketosis. So because this gene exists, doesn't mean that you should go do a ketogenic diet. Olympic shooting? So you're talking about that little air pistol thing they're now doing, or the little stuff with the 22s? So have you ever coached anyone who participates in Olympic shooting? No. Or archery? Yes. Do these sports benefit from strength training? Why wouldn't they? Name one sport that doesn't benefit from strength training. I mean, we could even make a case for darts. I could make a case for chess. Okay, you want me to make a case for chess? Are you ready? What physical activity improves insulin sensitivity the most? Weight training. Does improved insulin sensitivity help you maintain better cognition over time? Lower circulating insulin, better glycemic control can impact concentration. I could make a case for competitive chess players benefiting from strength training due to improved cognition and focus. I just gave you the case for chess benefiting from strength training. So let's come over to something that actually is more physical in nature. Why wouldn't archery benefit, especially the archery? But how about the Olympic shooting? So most of the shooting they're doing in the Olympics now is either with those little air pistols with zero recoil, or they're laced up in a vest and they use a 22 long rifle. For the competition, stability matters. You telling me getting really strong at static strength with something like a deadlift or a pull-up? How about a pull-up? You telling me that won't improve stability when bracing? I think we can make a strong case for that. Definitely the concentration. The archery is a no-brainer. Straight up, dude. You can do pull-ups with 100 pounds of plates. Tell me that's not going to improve your draw on the bow. Common sense. Okay. That one's pretty straightforward. Right. Jason, what do you think of the people who say you're overtraining? Really, has anyone said that you shouldn't be running barefoot because it's dangerous? Well, I think they're clowns. Running barefoot's normal. It's not like I'm running in an area with bottles or anything on the ground, really. We showed the one bottle. We showed that plastic bottle out in the middle of the street. First bottle I've seen in 3 weeks. I filmed it as I went by. There was a plastic water bottle in the street. So I have been corrected. There are, in fact, bottles in my street. There was one. And we filmed it in the middle of the run. Although I don't think a plastic water bottle is going to hurt that bad to step on. So there's people who are clowns. Yeah, who are they to even say that? Really, there's tons of people who've done it. There are people who literally do 50-mile runs barefoot today just fine. What are these people talking about? What do you mean the overtraining? Me lifting weights 3 days a week and doing cardio every day is overtraining? I'm still repping 315 on the bench. I can still pull 500 for reps on the deadlift while doing it. Objectively speaking, what is one of the first indicators of overtraining syndrome? What is one of the signs? 25% loss in strength. So if I was benching 315 for 3, 25% loss, I should be struggling with about 250 for 3 if I'm experiencing overtraining syndrome. The full length video about tendonitis, I don't know that I could talk for 8 minutes straight about it. King Dale said it's just so pathetic how people nitpick and look for anything to say, just feel that it's exactly what it is. Chris, yo, Jason, how's it going? A couple of months ago, you were 215. I'm 209 as of yesterday. I'm worried about you stepping on one of those snail shells. I'm sure I've stepped on a few. Acorns are rough. Man, I get acorns stuck in my feet and yank them out in between steps all the time. You guys don't see me do it. I get acorns, definitely. Sometimes one sticks for about 10 steps and I reach up and pull it off and keep going. I'm sure I've smashed a few snails along the way too when I hit the sidewalk. Now, acorns are the worst. But I just keep going, man. Not a big deal. Like you step on an acorn sticks, you jerk it out, and you keep going. Right? Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. I think people are just too soft. Honestly, let's come back over to people. You see me sprint with the sled barefoot, right, Clark? I did it yesterday on camera. We're barefoot sled sprinting. So here's the thing I would say. This is what I talk about with, the pussification of the Western male. This example of people literally saying, you're going to hurt your feet, ride barefoot. Shouldn't be squatting 500 pounds over age 40. This is what I mean by the pussification of the Western male. Absolute pussification. This is a clear indication being manifested of the testosterone deficiency that we have in society. Clear manifestation of it right there. Hey, Chad Zilla's chopped into Facebook, right? That pussification is pretty big. It is, Chad. I mean, dude's literally over here worried about this. Like, oh no, coach is over here doing reps barefoot. I had someone get mad at me for lifting barefoot. They gave me a whole thing of how dangerous it was for me to lift barefoot. Like before I started the barefoot running. I'm just like, guys, but literally people like, you can't be running and doing all of that. Right? So again, it's just a pussification. So only passes where, no, I didn't say that, Big Lou. But here's the thing, Big Lou. I have no trouble with you running in shoes. Let me be clear. I am not calling you a puss for running in shoes. Okay? Full stop. What I'm saying is people who make a big deal about me doing it or it's dangerous. Come on, dude. Seriously? You're going to hurt your back doing 600-pound deadlifts. Oh, no, you shouldn't be running barefoot. Like, this is, my God, people. How far have we fallen? Right? Hey, Carol, I'm also in YouTube if you'll hop in there too. Yeah, Chad hit it right over on the Facebook. Vendis says, is there a benefit for running barefoot with bare skin running versus barefoot shoes protect the skin? I mean, in theory, you get nice, good, strong, leathery feet from that. Other benefit, I'm not burning through $100 pair of Vibrams every single month. I've owned 4 pairs of Vibrams, man. Those things don't last. They do not last. But barefoot running is better for your feet and ankles. It's just a completely different type of foot. Like your gait is completely different. I'm not going to get into basic. Okay, King Dale. The problem is there is no universal standard because every department and state has its own laws. Like you can't discuss regional rules for fitness for something that's not a national level thing. So, I am of the opinion that in general, police officers are not held to a high enough standard for marksmanship or fitness. Straight up. That's just my opinion. I can flex muscles and feet standing barefoot, then I can't even feet with shoes on. What? I don't know what you mean. Carol says, Jason, you think benching is enough for big chest? Which you experience with flies? I think it replicates flies. What are your thoughts on Gary? Gary Brecka is a known grifter. Why are you discussing anything that grifter says is a serious fitness topic. Like, he's a complete con artist. Everybody knows this. He's a well-documented quack and grifter. You only have 20 minutes of glycogen reserves. Okay. Simba. So you watched me do 2-hour lifting sessions completely fast. I train fasted every day. I don't eat till noon. You've seen me do 5-mile runs, 5.5-mile runs, and then get on my bike for an hour while fasted. You guys routinely watch me work out for an hour and a half, squats, bench, deadlift, pull-ups, box jumps, go hit my sled, then go get on this bike for over an hour afterwards. Again, fasted. What nonsense. King Deal says, so many apparent expert scientists on YouTube, brother, who clearly have never seemingly ran barefoot before they do. Well, or if they've never heard of it, it's pretty common. Hey, Big, no, I don't need running shoes. I took them off the wish list. I put some walking shoes in there, and I have some Chucks in there if you want to buy them. So many apparent. Bandis says, in Finland, we have people who do barefoot running in winter. They only wear several thick socks while running in deep snow. Awesome, dude. There we go, man. Right? I don't think people realize the amount of conditioning work you do. They should. I document it. Right? We hit a record 5K this morning. I don't have a target right now at all for that. Just kind of see a slow downward trend. That's the goal. I don't have an exact number, and I don't care. Yeah, I don't think they realize either. And it's kind of like, you guys watch my runs and you watch the cardio. I mean, you see all the sled work. It's all put on online. I mean, I do a lot of conditioning, guys. I'm in pretty decent shape. For an old guy, okay, let me say it. I'm decently strong and in decently good shape for an old dude in his late 40s. How's that? I think it's at least decent. I'm at least above average. All right. Really, I've never seen my haters acknowledge ever give me credit for anything. Even your haters acknowledge the amount of weight you've lost and no experts prove your fitness. Really, I don't see that. I've never seen my haters acknowledge that at all. I've never seen them ever give credit. All I see is, oh, he's fat, he's out of shape, he uses fake plates, he does fake running. I've never seen a hater acknowledge it, ever. I've started reading about how elevated blood pushing levels enable muscle protein synthesis in only 6. Elevated for a few hours. Have you not dug deeper into that? Did you not see the one? I'm 48, Bigley. I'm about to turn 49. So, yeah. Did you see that study done last year where they gave people 30 grams of protein versus 100 grams in one meal? And the muscle protein synthesis shot up and stayed elevated for like 6 or 7 hours straight after the 100 grams, whereas it spiked up and then tapered off after 30. Just saying. The Green Pill says, wow, good to see you, Jason. Good to see you too, Green Pill. How you doing, man? You're the guy who had the back surgery, right, after cracking those discs? Oh, hey, appreciate the like, Carol, in the comment on Facebook. If I have used the right guy, Green Pill. I get people confused sometimes. All right, I do get people confused sometimes. Are you riding a station bike? Yes, I am. I've shown the bike before with me riding. When I used to do this purely on, with the phone instead of the desktop, I've shown the bike, like my pedaling and what I'm doing. But I have it set on a pretty hard setting too. So this is just to get endurance up and to burn through some extra calories. The running is a little more intense. So I like to do this most days. So even on lifting days, I kind of do this later. I do the same thing, after running. Jason, you were right. Big chest and leanness is a staple to achieve the classic physique. It really is. Music Light, I feel in the past you had unrealistic strength standards in the time. Some good sheen down. What are your thoughts on this? I don't think that they're unrealistic at all. I don't think they're unrealistic. And I'm not using myself as the example because I hit all those standards within 2 years. I'm not using me as an example. I'm telling you guys, hey, 10 years, 12 years. I'm not saying do it as fast as I did. So, like, seriously, I deadlifted over 500 within 2 years. I benched 315 like 2 years in the gym. I hit a 405 squat in like 13 or 14 months. Well over 20 years ago, guys. Hey, Coach. Paul Carter over at Lift Run Banks, there's actually no need. No need. I mean, hypothetically, you don't necessarily need it to get bigger. He's right, but I think there can be benefits. I'm very familiar with Paul's work. I like some of it. I disagree with a lot of it. Hey, King Dale, why does anyone even bring up the Colorado experiment anymore? Like, it's so silly to even bring that thing up. I'm intimately familiar with it. I know all about Casey Viator's training history. It is the fact that anyone even brings it up or knows it exists anymore is just silly, right? What are your current body composition goals? I want to keep working down to about 10% body fat, right? And you did that with full body. Feed me. Are you asking me to remember what my training looked like? That far back? I don't know. I don't know that I had a split at all. I just came in and trained. I used to do a lot of Widowmaker squats though. Like once I did a Widowmaker with 315, a 405 squat for reps was super easy. What standards could someone, I put up a picture of what I looked like back then too already. It's on my Facebook and YouTube. I found my old Polaroid and put it up. I actually took a picture of the Polaroid. I was like 195. What standards could someone hit in 2 years? I don't know that it's a set amount. I don't expect them to do what I hit. You should be able to pass my novice strength standards at 2 years. What do you mean, Lou? I've hit a way bigger bench than that when younger, but you've seen me bench 365 for a 2-second pause, right? Have you not? And that same bench you're talking about, I've done it for 8 reps on camera. Yeah, but no. In my late 40s. You do real, and I always tell guys I don't like to mention my old lifts because we didn't have smartphones. I can't prove the lift, so I don't discuss it. 365 is not my lifetime best bench. Now, where you could really nail me is in 20 years, my deadlift only went down 20, only actually is lower. My best deadlift was only 20 pounds heavier in my late 20s than what I've hit in my 40s. So no, I never claimed 600. But 365 is obviously not my lifetime best. But in my 40s, it has been. So realistically, if you had a pretty good bench in your early 20s and in your 40s, you bench 50 pounds more, you don't think that's a win? I think that's a win. When dudes are talking about how weak they're getting in their 40s, I'll take the win. And what program do you recommend for beginners? I think full body can work fine there. Yeah. Any sort of good full body built around big compound movements. Oh, man. Facebook questions. Coach, do you find low bar squatting to be generally better with a wider hand placement? Yeah, usually. Coach, what do you think a 500 times 4 beltless conventional could pull for a max? 550 easy. 550 to 570. So, and that's kind of the point, Big Lou. So, you've seen what I look like in the picture, benching 315 when I was younger, right? So for me to 20 years later, bench 365 in my 40s, I think is perfectly reasonable. And again, keep in mind, I did it with a 2-second pause, flat heels, pinkies on the rings. I think it's decent. No, I mean, I'm not the greatest bencher in the world. When should someone start doing body part splits? Whenever they want to. Oh, yeah, go look. It's on Facebook. Big Lou, hold on. Let me. Yeah, give me a second. I'll find it. I'll just get you guys a link. All right. Let's just do this the easy way. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way, as the Booty Warrior said, as Calvin Muscle said. What up, player? We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way. All right. Good old Booty Warrior. All right, here you go. Since you haven't seen it, take my phone. I took a picture of my Polaroid. I think, or I just found that picture. I got the Polaroid. I showed the Polaroid up here. On the camera. I still have the original. Coach, I know you're about the deadlift on full body, but with sumo and okay. Matt, you're going to make a brother cry. Sumo can't fully replace conventional. Now I get it if you can't do conventional for whatever reason. No, I don't look like Mr. Olympia bound, dude. That was me like 2.5 years into lifting or so. After losing weight. So I went down to I went from over 300 pounds down to 170 as a runner. Then I really took the barbell seriously. So I stacked on about 25 pounds at that point. So I'm 195 in that picture. Obviously, I've got fake tan on, like straight up. I got like 2 coats of paint just because it's like I want to take a picture, a real picture now that I've got in shape from being a big old fatty. I put up a fatty picture too last week. People were shocked. Some people were like, "It can't be you. You're like a fat nerd." I'm like, yeah. Turn pro? No, I don't think so. So full body or body part split should not make music. I did a whole detailed video on that the other day. Really, there's going to be small differences, but it's honestly, no, that was about 6 to 8 weeks before. Big Lou, disclaimer, that was pre-gear, but I did do a cycle within a couple months after that. Test and deca, right? But we don't discuss much of that because I'm streaming on Facebook too. That was shortly before I cashed in the Natty card. But that's why I get mad when people are like, your standards are unrealistic. I could hit all those strength standards in that picture less than 3 years of working out and no drugs. Come on. So no, I wasn't doing any powerlifting meets there. No, I honestly, body part splits versus full body, I think is mostly psychological and what you enjoy and what you're going to be consistent with. That's the main thing. Carol says, Coach, thanks for everyday great fitness topics and videos. Like you said in the last shot, there's no replacement for mechanical tension if you're natty, and that's true. I mean, case in point, okay, that picture, a lot of people are like, wow, you look pretty good. Okay, that was natty, but I was strong. I had been strength training. Like my training was very heavily based around squatting, bench pressing, right? Like, dude, I lived on the squat and bench press and that. I don't think I'd been deadlifting that long. I already had a 405 squat before I ever tried to deadlift. So my first program was literally just muscle cleans, benching, and squatting. That's what I was taught. My cousins who played football taught me how to work out. Right? They taught me how to work out. So I would say by the time of that picture, I mean, I was doing a lot of benching and squatting. But it was very strength-based. It's good to know it's not a night and day difference. Because you get big on clean squats and benches. So, yeah. So, I mean, I used to do Widowmaker squats. Coach, I missed most of your vlogs. Someone interfered with my electricity. Oh, that's not good, Peppermint. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wind down the Facebook. I don't need the Facebook still. This profile, at least. I sure it's been running over 40 minutes. What are we doing? What are we even doing? All right, let's see if it'll turn into a reel. Sort of the problem. Good to know. Jason, who said you looked like a nerd in the photo with the Santa hat? You look pretty sly. You'd have that watch. I did, dude. I had that big watch. Dude, I was okay. I used to take my watches really seriously. Back then, it was really funny. I haven't worn a watch in so many years, but yeah, I had that watch. Yeah, that was at Christmas time, so I was in a Santa hat sitting there eating, grubbing out with Uncle Elmer. Uncle Elmer passed away, by the way, last year. I don't know, Alan. I have no clue. I'm not sure the exact age or the body weight in that one. I'm going to guess. I mean, I was at least 250 there. I don't know. I wasn't weighing myself at all back then. I have no idea. I was probably, I'm going to guess 19 years old. Yeah. So that was, my God, how many years ago would that be? Almost 30 years ago. Hey, Big Lou, we'll share my videos. That's up to you. If you really cared, you'd be sharing my videos everywhere. So you say, let's do it. We'll go share my videos all over your social media. I forgot to check Facebook. Do you like Sebastian Orr's work? I'm sure I'm not familiar with his work at all. Sorry, Chad. Got trained with Chadzilla. What are your thoughts on Mark Bell's sugar diet? Seems like he went to the opposite. He did go to the opposite end of the spectrum. I did a whole video on that, Simba. So check sugar diet. Type sugar diet into my channel search engine. I did a pretty comprehensive breakdown of why, one, why I'm against it, but two, why it does actually work for fat loss. Makes sense? I don't think it's an ideal or healthy approach at all. I'm not a proponent. I'm not an advocate. I think it's generally an unhealthy idea the way they're doing it. However, will it work for fat loss? Big Lou, go search the same Facebook, look through the pictures, and it's been put up within the last week. So that same Facebook I just linked you, just go there. Jason, what's your thoughts on Mark Bell's physique today compared? I think his physique looks better. What education material do you recommend for someone else to learn? I don't want to break out all the books again. I've done that before on camera and held them all up. Go get the Science and Practice of Strength. I've put pictures up of it before. I've got a whole giant textbook on it. Read all the conjugates and read all of Louis Simmons' stuff. Get all the West Side books. Starting Strength would be a good read, right? Coach Mark could be one of the good guys, legit power lifter, knows how to train, but he promotes so much silly stuff, especially when it comes to, I know, right? And that's the problem. He promotes the silly stuff, certain supplements, when he has the potential to be a really good guy in the industry. I mean, he clearly knows how to train, right? I mean, Mark has been strong as hell. He knows how to train. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't ban anybody, Big Lou, but I put people in timeout for non-fitness stuff. So pretty straightforward, isn't it? I haven't banned anybody in over a week. I unbanned most people. I just put people in timeout now and run a stronger filter. I unbanned most people. You guys didn't figure that out already with all the people coming through? I deleted 95% of the ban list like a week ago. But let's stick to fitness related comments, or I will temporarily put you in the corner. The live stream's fitness only. I don't feel like I'm asking too much. Heather's going to go for 510. He might get it, right? I mean, the bar keeps going up. Do you like bar? I don't know what that means. Controversial. I don't have time to go do an Urban Dictionary. So could you just assume I've never heard this word before in my life because I haven't? I literally have no idea what that even means or even close to what it means. I have no frame of reference. It's a completely unknown word to me. It sounds like rabies. Giving a rabid raccoon an anavar. All right. So, no, I don't think giving rabid raccoons anavar is a good idea. Right? Oh, anavar from Barbies. Yeah, everybody knows I like muscular chicks. I thought this is common knowledge. I've dated multiple girls on anavar. All right, Michael. Man, have you heard about these man cramps? Yeah, I have. My bro CJ Domino makes fun of those. The deadlift dad, remember we did some collab work, me and the deadlift dad. So it's CJ. He makes fun of those because he was, at the time, he hadn't retired yet. He was an infantry sergeant in the Army. He thinks they're ridiculous. He makes fun of them. So they cost $20K. Dudes spend a week at the resort doing fitness drills, screaming underwater, getting beasted to reclaim their masculinity. Why don't they just go be a man? Coach, would you have heard of it if it was fitness related? Big Chud. Do you use creatine? Yes, 5 grams a day. You guys are laughing about it. It would be funny if that guy Darko suddenly came back. I don't even remember that guy. Coach, you ever do more collab work with them? Maybe, I don't know. Did you see the Mike Dulce recent video body composition? No, I didn't. He's 49, 7% body fat at 192. You and Mike are the top guys that are walking the walk. I held a generally favorable view of Dulce. Let me be clear. I like Mike Dulce. I think he's one of the good guys in the industry, right? He puts out fantastic information. He's athletic. He's lean. He's fit. He walks the walk and he puts out good information, straight up. So as much as I dislike a lot of this industry, I put Mike Dulce into the good guy category. Not saying I'm going to have 100% agreement with everything, but generally speaking, I think he's a top bro. You know, I don't think Mike is going to steer you in the wrong direction. Based on what I know of his work and what he puts out, I don't see Mike steering you wrong. You know, so I hold a generally favorable view of him. But the main thing, like you're pointing out, he walks the walk, right? He didn't just give lip service to fitness. He does fitness. And he understands fitness, not, hey, can I just do a bunch of training to look good? Like a lot of these clients. Dude standing here, I got ripped eating Pop-Tarts and doing no cardio. You know what pops in my head when someone says that? I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Are you telling people that they should eat Pop-Tarts and not do cardio to get ripped? Is this what you're co-signing on people? Oh, but how much Tren T3 and Clen did you have to use? How many appetite suppressing drugs did you have to use? Would you buy a Peloton? No, because I'm not stupid. No, I have no interest in a Peloton bike. I have no problem with the bike I use now, Big Chud. Now, if you want to gift me a Peloton bike, I'd ride it. So you see my Amazon wish list. If you want to throw a Peloton bike in there and drop $5,000 on it and send it to me, I'll be happy to use it. So do I need to add a Peloton bike to the Amazon wish list? Yeah, buy it for Coach. That's the rule. Anytime you ask me if or you think I should use a certain device, my assumption is you're offering to buy it. So you gonna buy it or not? Someone said the Apple Watch the other day, and I put one in my basket. I put one in my wish list, and that person didn't buy it yet, which is kind of messed up. Like, why would you suggest that I need something that you're not willing to buy? That's just rude. I can't tolerate rude behavior in a man. Like, if you think that I need it, you need to buy it. Very straightforward. So don't suggest it if you're not going to pony up the money. Just like if someone told me they think I need to go find hills to sprint, well, I don't have any hills nearby, so I'm going to need you to sponsor it. Because I'm happy running where I run, but if you think I need to do hill sprints, you need to agree to pay me $1,000 a month for my travel time, my expenses to go find hills to run. Because otherwise I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But if they want to sponsor it, because then they're covering my gas, my travel time, $100 per hour, because that's what I charge for consultations and stuff, then, hey, we're good. Otherwise, I'm going to run on the street right next to my home. I'm doing just fine and happy doing that. So when you suggest stuff to people, you need to pony up. You put your money where your mouth is, right? Walk the walk. Don't talk the talk. All right. Yeah, he might need to go in timeout for, so I better buy that Peloton now. That's what I'm saying. You tell him, Michael. Michael, you didn't post in Facebook. I'm in Facebook too. You're one of my regulars in there. But it's all good. I get it now. Man, I can only get so much done. Coach, I'm trying to get shredded like Kenobi. I keep failing the calorie deficit. Your massive protein shake tip has helped me. Awesome. Yeah, that can definitely help. I can definitely help. I know. I put also that 10-pound bag of protein in my wish list. Nobody bought it. I did get some peanut butter protein the other day, so that's cool. Fans start buying the giant bags. I might start literally doing the giant protein when I get started my feed window again, just because, you know. That's why you have fans. Come on, guys. People get so mad that I do that. I don't know why it's hilarious. They get really upset that I have a wish list. And I'm like, why, dude? All these Insta hoes do it and they get dudes be cash out. I know the girls who straight up put their cash app in all their stuff. I have friends who do that. They straight up have their cash app on all their social media. And they're not even OnlyFans girls. They're just like fitness girls. They're like, hey, if dudes want to flirt, they can flirt in cash app. Yeah. So hell yeah, I got a gift list. Would building deadlift strength let me pee harder? Probably not. Actually, no, deadlift strength carries over to everything. I think it'll give you a higher pressure yield. All right, let's just go with yes. Deadlifts make everything better. All right, it might add an inch to your stream distance. Right? Just do better pelvic floor control. Increased intra-abdominal and hydrostatic pressure will affect the distance of flow. Pressure does matter for that, even though obviously you can't compress a liquid. Notice we be using fancy words like hydrostatic pressure. That's where I get nailed. People are like, you look like a fat nerd back then. I was a fat nerd back then. I turned into a super nerd. I walked into a gaming store one time and everyone looked at me back then in the day. I was big, but I was jacked. Everyone stares at me for a minute. I went in with some of my bros. I'm like, oh, guys, I just wanted to look like my D&D character. And then everybody was cool. It was funny. All right. Base peen max. No, dude, I went from fat nerd to super nerd. We want the super nerd. Super nerd deadlifting 600 pounds with my super nerd powers. But you know what, guys? I can take my super nerd powers and I can make you jacked and strong too. Right? All about the super nerd. All right, we're closing in on time. I got to get my chicken in the oven. I'm completely out of cooked chicken, and I got to get my Instapot going too, so that I don't know how I'm going to balance this out. What am I doing with my life? What do you think about DEXA scans for fitness? DEXA scans do not improve your fitness in any way. I think they're a very accurate tool. They're the gold standard currently for measuring body composition and a lot of stuff. I've paid for 3 DEXA scans in the past. You see me put them up way back in the past. I've done them. I think they're a useful information gathering tool. In fact, if you say, that's why I tell people, like, no, you should base these calculations on lean body mass or protein. Really? So you're going to need to get a DEXA scan every month instead of just using body weight like all the research does. But, you know, that aside, which is stupid as hell, because you have no way to measure body fat outside of a DEXA scan. That's it. The only accurate tool we really have, unless you're going to be dissected, is a cadaver. That's the only thing more accurate. And you kind of have to die for that. So you're not going to make any more gains at that point. But no, DEXA scans are pretty much the gold standard. The best thing we have for that. But they're not going, no, BodPod is inferior to a DEXA scan. But DEXA scans will not improve your fitness in any way, right? Knowing your stats doesn't directly improve your fitness. It's a good way to track stuff and see where certain things are going now. Lionel's in my Facebook. He's going to spam for a bit in Espanol. Buenos dias, mi amigo. I do live in Texas. I have to know just a little bit of Spanish. It's kind of mandatory since Latinos are the dominant group here in terms of population. All right. So you got to know a little Spanish here. All right. So, all right, guys, we passed the hour. I'm going to wind everything down. I'm going to wind stuff down in Facebook first. Oh, wait, other people can be like, do you know any other languages, some stuff? I don't know. How about, I saw a guy in here was talking about some Scandinavian countries. So how about förstår du norsk? Like, nej, jag förstår inte norsk. All right. All right, guys, time to wind it down. Love you guys. And I'll talk to you next time.